Welcome into SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. It is a great day, December 9th, 2025. We're here back on a Tuesday. Had a wild weekend of sports, college football, crazy. We'll get into that, what happened there. NFL, maybe talk a little bit about a recap. We'll talk about some NBA Cup tonight and a little bit about what's going on there. There's a couple games. And then we'll get into some college basketball. We'll go over how our plays went yesterday. We've got a packed show, so let's just get right into it. Okay, same as we do every single show. We're going to start with the record. So yesterday's plays, we go 2-1. So total now here since October 21st, continuing there is plus 22.21 units. Yesterday we did have Chargers plus 2.5. That was a win there. We had Southern Miss minus 7.5. Late cover there by them to get us that win. And then Ladd McConkey over in receptions, and that was a loss. He was really almost nowhere to be found all game. I think only one reception. Just that passing game really struggled, so they didn't have much going. But, hey, they got the cover, the plus 2.5, so we're good there. So we look at that. Currently 19-10 in the NBA, college basketball 57-41, and then go down to NFL 12-10, college football 6-11-1. Now, college football here in a second, we'll get right into that. We're going to have some exciting action on there, but this is currently where we're at. Getting right about 58%. December, we're just coasting. We're still, 9 days in. We're just kind of still right around that same mark where we have been to start December. Looking to streak here again. Go to sportbetextra.com. Get you the free trial. That streak is coming. You want to be on the side of it. It's kind of like baccarat. When you play baccarat, you ride the streak or you fade the streak. That streak's coming. That streak is coming. And once it does, you want to be on the side riding it. Get you that free 7-day trial. And then if you enjoy it and if you do win, go sign up for another 7 days, another month, 3 months, whatever it is. There's plenty to choose from. Let's get into college football. This is the first thing I want to talk. Let me put up the bracket. We talked about Duke beating Virginia, talked about what would happen there, and it did. So JMU sneaks in there at the number 12 seed. We'll be facing Oregon in that first round. Winner of that one will get Texas Tech. And then Alabama maintains that top 10 there. They're number 9 after the loss to Georgia. You can see there against Oklahoma. Winner takes on Indiana. And then you got Tulane, of course, got in winning, beating North Texas, facing off Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin. There, we'll take on Georgia, and then Miami sneaks in over Notre Dame. I don't know if I quite understand how they made that decision or got to that decision, but that's neither here nor there. Miami's in over Notre Dame. We'll be playing A&M, and the winner will take on Ohio State. So first round, we're looking at JMU versus Oregon. Oregon laying the 21.5 against JMU. There's really not much interest in this one here. I would just move Oregon over to the next game against Texas Tech. Alabama against Oklahoma there. Oklahoma's slight 1.5-point favorite. I do like Oklahoma here to win that game. Alabama, that was a tough one against Georgia. We'll see how they bounce back, but I do like Oklahoma to move on here and play Indiana. Tulane, Ole Miss. Ole Miss, 17.5-point favorites there. It'd be tough to bet Tulane to win. But what are you going to get out of Ole Miss now with Lane Kiffin gone? You're getting 17.5. I would probably take the 17.5 points there with Tulane. Coaching does make a difference in college football. So I don't know if I'd lay the 17.5 with Ole Miss there. I think they do get the win, but I think it's going to be a lot closer. And then, of course, they're going to struggle against Georgia there. Next game, I have been high on A&M to start the year. All year, I was high on them. I had them as one of my number one team before they had that loss against Texas. Give me for this game. Something about this is just has Miami written all over it. They snuck in, maybe shouldn't have been there. Only team in the ACC. They've got something to prove here. A&M last game was their loss against Texas. We don't know how they're going to respond. I would lean Miami here to win outright. A&M is a 3.5-point favorite. I would take Miami here against Ohio State. And then if we're looking at the quarterfinals, Oregon, Texas Tech, I'm loving that Texas Tech defense. I would continue to take Texas Tech here. And then Indiana, Oklahoma, if we do get that matchup, I would lean still Indiana. I like that team. They've been very cool to watch. Fernando Mendoza, what he's doing there. Georgia, I think, will advance. Kind of, boring as we look at this part of the bracket as Georgia moves on. So you've got all your favorites kind of winning here. Georgia taking on Ole Miss next round, and they move on. If it is Tulane, they move on there. But Georgia will move on to the semifinals there. This is one that, again, this part of the bracket, for some reason, it's just feeling like this is a spot where Miami is going to make a run. I actually have Miami here over Ohio State. That's of course going to be tough because Miami going to play in Ohio State is going to be, extremely difficult, especially with that weather. I just think there's a spot, again, Miami with Carson Beck. As much as I'm not a huge fan of the guy, he's got the experience. I would take Miami here over Ohio State. Then if you're looking at the semifinals, I have Texas Tech over Indiana here. Again, I'm high on Texas Tech. If they do upset Indiana here, then I think they do move on to play Georgia. I think Georgia does end up getting the best of Miami in that next round. So then we have our Texas Tech Georgia matchup, and again, I'm taking Texas Tech. So that's who I have to win it here, win it all. Texas Tech. I do want to check on Profit X because I am going to be placing a future on that one there. So if we just go, let me scroll over to Profit X, see what odds I'm currently getting on Texas Tech here to win the national championship. So we do have college football futures. As we scroll through, there's quite a few good ones we can see here. Texas Tech, let me find it. Again, man, Miami, I think they're going to be a surprise. I don't know. I don't think they're going to go all the way, but they will be a surprise. And I believe upset A&M and possibly even Ohio State there. So if we're looking at Texas Tech currently 9-1, we can get them there. Half unit is what I am going to put down on that one there. So 50 to win for 50. So if we go 50 there to win 450 for Texas Tech, that's going to be the future that we do get some action down on there. Now, hey, if you want to take Miami, they're currently on Profit X. You can get a 30 to 1. I'd have no problem with that. Again, there's just something that you kind of get that sense about this team. Like, all right, hey, look, we got in. Let's prove why we should be here. And Miami's tough defensively. They're a very tough, solid team. Again, it's going to be a struggle if they do move on to go play at Ohio State. But after that, if we do get a Miami Georgia matchup, right? I mean, Carson Beck taking on his old school there. I mean, it's possible that Miami does, even if they move on, beat Georgia, but I just think Georgia defensively is too good. So I like Texas Tech here, 9-1. We're going a half unit to win there. So Texas Tech to win the national championship, 9-1. That's going to be the pick here, and we'll see where it goes from there. Going to be tough against Oregon first game, that's for sure. So college football, exciting stuff there. Can't wait. Got a lot of games that we're just gonna have a lot of fun. Bowl games too. We'll be tracking the bowl games, giving out picks for any of those bowl games as well that we do have, and just continue to give out plays every day in college football. And let's improve that record some there for college football. Now we can move on. We've talked college football. We'll touch quickly on the NBA Cup before we get into college basketball. I want to go ahead and put that up here. This is one of those. Now, ProfitX, Novig, Onyx, all these other ones that we use do not have any futures for the NBA Cup. DraftKings, others like that, they do. I do like Miami to win the NBA Cup. I mentioned that last week or 2 weeks ago, I believe. I think it might have been 2 weeks ago. I just like this Miami team to win it all on the NBA Cup. I would take them there. As for tonight, Heat at Magic. It looks like Heat are 1.5 point favorites there. Again, no Franz Wagner. That's going to be tough. That's a big loss. I mean, that's Magic's best player besides Banchero. They haven't really played without Franz a lot during the season. I don't even know if he's missed a game. I'd have to double check. They have played without Banchero, and they've been able to continue to play well. So it's going to be a test without Wagner, right? What are they going to do there? I like Miami here, even if Tyler Hero is a game-time decision. That's not really going to be too worrisome. This team has really done pretty well even without him. I would lean Miami here, -1.5. Excuse me. And then as far as the Knicks, Raptors, ever since RJ Barrett has been out, Raptors are 3-5 without him. They have not looked good here. Karl-Anthony Towns, I know, is questionable for tonight. I would just take Knicks here, even with the points, laying the 4.5. I would take that. I'd probably lean both favorites here. And as boring as that sounds, I would lean both favorites here. I just don't think the Raptors, with the injury with RJ Barrett, they just look like a different team. So I would lean Knicks here -4.5 and Heat to match up against them. Play that game Saturday, December 13th. Heat, I have them moving on, going to Las Vegas to play the championship there. On the other side of the bracket, OKC Phoenix. There's really not much to say. OKC on that one. And then Lakers Spurs. Lakers, we know how important the NBA Cup is to them. They enjoy it. I think they beat the Spurs there. So you get Thunder, Lakers, pretty cool Western matchup there. Maybe something in the future. Who knows? But I do think OKC, we know what they can do. We know what they're capable of. It's just going to be whether or not they care to win this thing. I would say they're going to try. They're going to play, win it for the guys on the bench, get them a little bit extra cash in their pockets. I'd say OKC and Heat would be the matchup that we do get here. And if the Heat somehow beat the Thunder, man, that'd be awesome to see. So I would lean, Heat. If you want value, I would go Heat to win the NBA Cup. Of course, if you want favorite, take Thunder there. You don't really have to think twice about that one. So that's really all we've got with college football, NBA Cup. We'll talk a little bit of college basketball real quick. There's some interesting games tonight. First one we're talking about at 5:30. You've got Villanova at Michigan. Michigan number 2 there, 8-0. Villanova 7-1, right? But Michigan's laying the 17.5. We know what Michigan does offensively. They can score the ball, quick pace, field goal percentage is ridiculous. They can shoot the three. They rebound the ball like crazy. They move the ball well. I mean, almost second in the nation in assists. We really like what Michigan does offensively and defensively. They're just very, very tough. Looking at Villanova now, currently again 7-1. They haven't really played anybody but BYU, and that was their first game. They lost by 5, which was respectable. Other than that, again, they haven't played tough competition. The competition that they have played, they've pretty much taken care of business, no problem. That is a big number. It does feel to me like a spot where Michigan just kind of sleeps on Villanova here. Villanova will be up for this game because this is going to be, again, one of their biggest tests in a while all season. I would lean Villanova here with the points, the 17.5, even though I like this Michigan team. It just feels like one of those where Villanova does enough defensively and they shoot enough threes to keep it within that 17.5. So I would lean Villanova here plus 17.5. Next one, Clemson at BYU. Number 10, BYU there, 6.5-point favorites. Clemson, 7-2. Tough game against Alabama. They did cover there. We talked about that one last time they played. I mean, just look at what Clemson has done, right? They beat Georgia. They beat West Virginia. Close loss to Georgetown there. So Clemson, they have the tools. They have the rebounding. They have the defense to keep these games close. Just BYU, I think, offensively has that edge, of course, with their shooting. They haven't really been tested too much since that UConn game. They blew out Wisconsin with no problem. Dayton, we know, is tough. Dayton can shoot the three. They're a really good three-point shooting team, good defensive team. If you want to compare, you can pretty much say Clemson and Dayton are close comparables there as far as the style of play, with the pace, with the three-point shooting, free throw shooting, all those different things, rebounding as well. So those factors kind of, you could say those two are close. Do we think BYU wins by 6.5 here? I do. I think Clemson had their chance and had a big game against Alabama. It feels like it's going to be one of those sleepy spots where they just, for some reason, don't get up for this game, and then BYU just kind of runs them out of the gym here and wins and covers by a lot. So I would lean BYU for that one. Illinois at Ohio State there. Number 13, Illinois, next game I want to talk about. They're 7-2. Ohio State 7-1. Illinois laying 4.5 here on the road against Ohio State. Now, Illinois, I'm just double checking injuries. Nothing really there that we've got to worry about. Ohio State, either no injuries to be concerned about. And if you look at what Ohio State has done, they've played average teams. I mean, Notre Dame, nice win by 1 there. Pittsburgh lost by 1. Northwestern, they won there. Other than that, they have not really been tested. That 7-1 is kind of a little, fugazi, as they say. Illinois, we know they have been tested, playing Tennessee, playing UConn, playing Alabama, Texas Tech. Illinois is battle tested, but that's a short number. On a game like this, you would expect Illinois to be more of an 8.5, 7.5 point favorite. That's a short number of plus 4.5 for Ohio State. Makes me want to lean that direction. Just again, feel like Illinois should be closer to a 7.5 or 8. I would lean Ohio State though, plus 4.5. This is again another one of those you kind of got to read into it. Why is this number where it is? Why is it so small? Why is it a 4.5? I would lean Ohio State to get the cover on this one. This is one that kind of stuck out to me. And then when we get late night, 8 o'clock game, 8 Central, number 18 Florida, number 5 UConn. Florida, tough game against Duke, lost that one last minute there by 1 against Duke last week. UConn, I mean, they've looked solid. UConn's 8-1 there. beating Kansas, beating Illinois, and beating BYU. I mean, UConn, we know what it is with UConn. You know what you're going to get with Dan Hurley. You got a team that's going to shoot the ball really well and that's going to get after it defensively. They're going to force turnovers. I think Florida has the edge rebounding wise here, which is going to be a big factor, especially if Terrace Reed is not able to go. It does look like he's a game time decision. If he is able to go, that's going to be a huge boost for UConn. If not, Florida may have the advantage here, and it's going to be another one of those where they're going to keep it close, just like they did against Duke because of their rebounding ability. This one I would wait to see. UConn, again, is a 4.5-point favorite. Not going to have any play on this one as of now. This is one where you would just kind of wait and see what's the news with Terrace Reed. Is he going to be in? Is he going to be out? I would lean Florida here as of now. Again, if Terrace Reed does in fact play and is in, then maybe not on this one. Maybe just stay off of it. But right now, I would have no problem just taking the 4.5 with Florida. For today's pick, let's get into what today's pick is going to be. And that we're going to get back to the first one we talked about. That's going to be Villanova with the points there against Michigan. So let me get back to ProfitX, see what type of odds we're getting here for college basketball. Scroll down, and I've got Villanova plus 17.5, minus 113. So let's take that one there. Villanova plus 17.5, minus 113. That's going to be the play that we have for today. That's the free play. Again, go to sportbetextra.com. That's where you're going to get all the rest of the plays. I'll probably have about 2 or 3 more. They'll be posted here within the next 30 minutes to an hour. Again, right after the show's over, I get all those plays out. Go sign up. Get your free 7-day trial. If you enjoy it, stay on longer. Get you another week. Get you a 1 month. Get you 3 months. Let's have a day today. Let's start a streak of winning. Good luck, everyone. Today is December 9th. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good day and good luck